During my days off, I usually like to sleep in for a few extra hours, but the boys don't always let that be possible. They're always right there by my side to wake me up with some cuddles or even just playing around the bed. Zenitsu is usually the early bird among the two. Appa, however, is usually the first one to start the play fighting. This day I wanted to stay in bed a little bit longer, however, the boys played a little bit too much around me, so I couldn't go back to sleep. First and foremost, I put my leg brace on so I'm able to walk and get myself up to do my morning skincare routine. Strapping this on is not the prettiest thing in the world, but it definitely helps with my balance. I always like to make sure that my leg can comfortably bend without the brace slipping off. Of course, I started off the day with a big chug of water. I always get super thirsty after waking up in the morning. I made my bed and put all of my squishmallows and teddy bear on my bed. Appa was there, following me and racing me to the bathroom. My skincare routine is starting off with my foaming facial cleanser, followed by my micro essence from Estee Lauder, as well as a serum from The Ordinary. I like to use the salicylic acid treatment, and then I use my Origins moisturizer. Of course, during the day, you can't forget your sunscreen, and then Aquaphor for my drier spots. I tossed my hair up into a bun just so it's out of my face so I can get my day going. Doing my skincare routine usually takes me a little bit, and the boys are crying outside the bathroom waiting to be fed. Of course, I had fed them their dry kibble, and then I went ahead and started my breakfast. I first cleared out my dishwasher to ensure that it's fresh and ready for my next set of dishes. It was actually tipping a little bit closer towards lunchtime, so I was a lot hungrier than I usually am when I wake up. I decided to make some garden rolls for this lunchtime, and I made some peanut sauce to complement it. I first started off with sauteing some garlic. Once that was brown, I added in my peanut butter, followed by some chicken broth, and then hoisin sauce for a little bit of extra sweetness. I gave this all a big stir, and then I realized I wanted a little bit of spice to my peanut sauce, so I went ahead and added some chili pepper flakes. Once that was all done, I took it off the heat and started boiling some water so I can boil my shrimp and my rice noodles. I then went ahead and rinsed off all my vegetables, and of course, Zenitsu was watching me every step of the way. For my garden rolls, I decided for some lettuce as well as cucumbers. I sliced up all of my filling into smaller pieces so it would be a lot easier to roll. Once my shrimp was finished boiling, I tried my very best to slice it in half. I didn't want my shrimp too thick, and this way the garden rolls just look a lot nicer. I'm definitely no professional when it comes to rolling up spring rolls. My mom is definitely the best I've seen. I first laid out my lettuce, followed by a good handful of cucumbers. Cucumbers are probably my favorite vegetable, and then I added some rice noodles on top. I folded that up before folding the sides over, and then folding it once more before adding in the shrimp so they stay nice and rested on top. Again, I'm not a professional, so all of my rolls always end up being different sizes and different thicknesses. I added some crushed peanuts to my peanut sauce just to have a little bit of extra crunch, to all of my rules. At this point, the boys are super hyperactive after eating their breakfast, so I played with them a little bit. Their favorite toy is definitely this string on a stick. With it being the long weekend, I decided to spend a little bit more time with my sisters. We drove out to get some ice cream. Although they ended up getting themselves this Oreo milkshake, I still stuck with the classic cookie dough cone. Behind this ice cream shop was a river trail, so we walked alongside it, and my youngest decided she wanted to run up the hill, which was a little bit of a funny sight, but she wanted to shake off her milkshake. After that, we decided to go to the Fork Center here in the middle of the city, where you can overlook the town after a 6th-floor rise. Our river wasn't the greatest view, but it was nice to just get up here and get some fresh air. With that Fork Center, there was also a local market that we could purchase some locally owned brands, a few handmade items as well. There was this cute miniature set where you could build a super small bathroom, and of course my youngest went straight to the bookstore. I never realized it, but every time I hang out with my sisters, we always go to the same style of restaurant where she can get her unlimited bread, pasta, and some soup and salad. This time it was the old spaghetti factory. Afterwards, I had a quick training session with the boys. Look at what Zenitsu has learned.
Sit. Good boy. Zenitsu, get down. Good boy. Zenitsu, sit. Good boy.
That training session really tired out the boys, so here they are, just about ready for bed. This week was great. Because of the long weekend, I was able to stay with the boys one extra day at home, hang out with my sisters, as well as rest my leg a lot better. Stay tuned next week for week 6 of my recovery.